You're listening to Smooth Talk with Kevin and Cal. In this podcast, we discuss trading ideologies, investment strategies, and many more ideas on your personal development and race to success. Welcome to another episode of Smooth Talk with Kevin and Cal. So, look, Cal, what I actually wanted to sort of discuss with you today is a quick step back and kind of remember how we actually got started, right? Because I remember in 2013, well, when I was still a junior broker, and I think that's when we did our first deal, which was actually pretty good. We made some money together. And then I want to say it's maybe around 2015 when we sort of decided to, bring the rest of the team together and sort of make it official. So fast forward like what, 5 years now, we have, a vast team made out of, customer relationship specialists, programmers,
Yeah.
traders, brokers. So some of our founding members, including Sambo, Megan,
TJ, Megan, exactly.
Yuri.
Got the whole Yuri, Zhao, Abdul. We've got
Exactly,
Andrew
exactly,
Condry, in fact. We've got quite a few in our team.
exactly, absolutely. So, over the past few years, is there anything in particular that you would say, that kind of stood out to you in your, experience as a trader?
Well, in terms of like what, technical trading or in general?
I would say in general.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, as I was going along with my trading career, I've noticed that as I went along with this whole trading thing, I've learned so much in terms of like what can actually bite you as a trader, like in terms of always monitoring like fundamental analysis while trading technically. For example, that was one of the main things that I've learned that kind of changed my life in terms of being aware of how the market moves. Also understanding that each candlestick has its own particular behavior, which you need to understand as well when trading technically, because I mean, it's all well and good looking at charts and just trading off analysis, but you need to understand that, of course, news comes on a day to day basis. In fact, hourly, because part of the day you do have so many different news that can come through. Non-farm payroll, we've got interest hikes, we can go on forever. There's so many different ones across the day. And if you're not aware of that, you can get hit as a trader. So I feel like me knowing that in my career helped a lot. In terms of the support online, I feel like with traders and that, we built a really good, strong bond amongst our team to know that, of course, we've got specialists in different parts. For example, stocks. I know you trade, and
Right,
you've been
right.
doing it.
Yeah,
You've been doing it for a hot minute. Me with
exactly.
FX and commodities. I've
Yeah,
got industry traders like Chuba. He's a top member of our team. Like we've
yeah.
got quite a few. And of course, Sambo. He deals with he's stocks as well. Like so, we have different members in a team trading different parts, different assets. So then when we do see like news on maybe let's say stocks, I know Kevin will give me a call and say, look, check this out. What do you think of it? I can base my technical analysis and see whether it could be a good trade on my
You
stuff
know,
like that. Now, team is important.
absolutely. When you first started trading, what broker were you using actually?
Okay. Started, if I can remember carefully, I think I was using IG Index. Yes, I think
IG
so.
Index. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, we
Yes.
were using them at my brokerage as well. To be honest, we were using
Oh,
IG in and CMC and CMC.
CMC, that's a common one.
Yeah,
When traders
yeah.
do come into the field, they go straight to CMC. I mean, CMC is not bad. I mean, there's good. I mean, but IG Index was one that I started off with, especially when I was building my accounts on.
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
have a phase with CMC as well in my earlier
yeah.
stages. Um,
Yeah,
but
everybody kind of
I've
passes through CMC,
so
don't they?
many different brokers across time. You got to understand there's brokers that came into the industry, left.
How do you pick the right broker for you though? So let's say,
Mhm.
you're an experienced trader or maybe you just started off, right?
Okay.
How do you exactly go about picking the broker that suits your needs?
Okay, so first of all, you need to understand, since you mentioned that, of course, it's someone that's been trading before, it's always good to understand what asset you want to specialize in. Of course, different brokers suit different asset classes. So, like, let's say you're looking at FX markets, you're probably going to need to look at, okay, cool, I need low spreads, maybe like zero point 0.1 or even zero point 0.0 on a fixed. with some brokers. So, and then there's some brokers, of course, that got leverages as well that you need to look at. Leverages is so important in terms of, like, you got most of these FX brokers. I think they're what 30, I think, is it, Kev?
Mm, mm.
Yeah, I mean, and then of course the offshore ones maybe having at 1 to 100. So knowing what you're trying to go into, and basing the broker based on that. So if you're going to FX, there's brokers specializing in FX and providing the best spreads and good leverages to suit it. If you're going for, let's say, even if you're going for like decentralized coins, like even like Bitcoins, we've got all of them, Ethereum, Ripple, then you might look at brokers such as like Bittrex.com or the Coinbases and the blockchains. And there's so many different brokers you can use.
You can also just check on the forums. You have different forums, review websites,
Yes,
trust
yes, yes,
pilots.
yes. Trust pilots is
Uh,
so important. I mean, like, it's all well and good. I mean, yes, of course, what can be on there can be biased, and of course, you need to understand that going on there, you go on there and say their view, but you can use it as an idea and then do extra research based on that. So, yeah, so
what I think is so important now as well is to try to make genuine connection with people.
yes,
There's so many, sort of avenues that you can follow online right now. So, connect with people, ask questions. You know what I mean?
yeah,
If you're on LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever it may be, try to connect with other like-minded individuals.
of course, of course,
Because they may also offer you some different perspectives.
yes,
And sometimes I think it's even good to take your initiative. If you see a particular broker that you're curious about, you can't find the information that you need, pick up your phone, give them a call.
yeah. Because I had,
You
I
know what
had,
I mean?
I had people coming up to me and saying, "Oh, what do you think of this broker?" And I gave my honest opinion on it, and then, look, that's my opinion on it. That's my experience on it. Still do your further research on it, but that's what I believe might not be the right platform for you if you're going into FX or if you're going into indices. But like I said, every broker suits different asset classes. There may be
Yeah,
there may be
yeah,
brokers
true.
that can suit all, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to specialize in a particular asset, I would prefer you checking, even doing your Google research. Standard research is really good. Forums are really good because you can have like nice discussions. And because of the greatness that we have with social media, there's so many traders out there. Literally so many. Look at the ones that have good credentials on them. I mean, you can kind of guess. I mean, it's really hard nowadays with quite a few that do give a fraudulent look to them, and of course they may not provide um good quality services. So like when you're looking at it, give them a DM, ask them, what do you think of this broker? Is it smooth? If they're genuine and they answer you back, they should be able to give you some good advice, even if it's for free.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think it's also good to just to kind of reemphasize on what you just mentioned, but it's also good to figure out what asset classes or asset class that you prefer to trade and maybe find a broker that tailors to that specific asset class. So if you know that you like to trade um blue chip stocks, or you like to trade Bitcoins, find a broker that is tailored to that, a broker that maybe only does Bitcoins, or a broker that only trades blue chip stocks or whatever it is, because they may be able to suit your needs a whole lot better.
And
I don't think
yeah,
sometimes, I don't think you should just pick the most commercial broker that you see out there, plus 500, trading 212, just for the sake of, wanting to trade.
yeah.
It's good to take a moment, see what exactly your needs are, what exactly are you looking for, and make your decision based on that,
Because I
you
look at
know?
MT4, like for example, I prefer to trade on MT4. Some people
Yeah,
like
yeah.
other different styles of like systems on their broker. Like different brokers provide different systems. So you have to understand, like, okay, if you like MT4 and you prefer MT4, there's quite a few that do that. For example,
Yeah,
Cube is a
yeah.
really good one. I can name you so many different ones that do provide MT4 or MT5. Now, I prefer that when I'm trading FX. If I'm going on to stocks and a few other platform, maybe commodity, look at other style systems. So you need to understand where you're going with it straight away. But if you're starting
Well,
from scratch, it's a different story.
the thing is with MT4 as well. MT4 is mainly used, I want to say, around here, in the West, right? And then MT5 is mainly used, in Asia, parts of Africa. And I know that MetaQuote, they're actually trying to get a lot of people to use MT5 because it's their, I guess, their upgraded version of it or whatever. But everybody here is so comfortable
With
with
what they know best,
MT4.
yeah. With what they
Yeah,
can afford.
exactly. You know what I mean? It's in emerging markets where MT5 is used more frequently. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's another good one, to be honest with you. But on top of that, speaking about asset classes, right?
Yeah.
How did you figure out that the FX market is is your department, so to say, right? Because like with me, when I look at an FX graph,
Mhm.
it doesn't say anything to me. Well,
In what sense, bro?
you
In
know,
what sense? Like,
yeah.
as in,
Well, it doesn't speak volumes to me. When I look at a stock chart, however,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, you know what I mean. I see different things.
Okay, okay, okay.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So how do you kind of get to figure out that you enjoy trading the FX market, let's say over the stock markets, for instance?
Well, I mean, in terms of like access to information, I find it a lot more efficient and more frequent. So, in terms of when I'm trading FX, I know that okay, cool. If I see anything to do with the pound, the euro, I've got economic calendars that I use, or I use FX Street for information. And when I'm trading, I like trading into trading. So trading during the day and like short term scalping in and out of markets using price action and then the standard technicals. So because of that, I feel like FX is definitely one of the ones to go for. And I feel like I do have my good on luck with the FX market, especially with analyzing charts. And it mainly focuses on technicals rather than the fundamentals. Fundamentals do come, and when they do,
Mm,
they can
mm,
interrupt your technicals greatly. But
mm.
with
Yeah,
stocks,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
heavily on fundamentals.
It's heavily on fundamental. That's why I like the stock market so much,
You need to ask the
because to
question:
me,
are you fundamental?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And also to me, corporations are like people. You know, if you know a particular stock really well, you can more or less, read it like a book. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So to give you a classic example, let's say you're trading an energy stock, right? So let's take British Gas as an example, right? Now, I know, as we get towards the end of the summer,
Mhm.
I'm gonna buy some British Gas because I know as we get towards the end of the summer, the energy consumption
Yeah,
is gonna go up because we're
definitely.
going into the winter
Yeah,
now,
it's
right?
warm.
And I'm almost, let's just say that's more or less guaranteed to make me like 20% in 4 or 5 months or whatever, depending on how things play out. But you get the picture,
Yes, yes, yes,
right?
yes. That consumption.
So if you get to know your stocks like that, you know the swings, you understand the fundamental aspect of it. Of course, you can also be looking at earnings reports that come out on a quarterly basis to see how the stock is actually performing internally,
Mhm.
how the dividend payments and so forth and so forth. I was actually speaking um, to one of my friends this afternoon. Is this young kid from Buckingham,
Okay.
and he was telling me he's been trading. I believe it was Beyond Me, Virgin Atlantic, and he literally just passed the 100% mark. So since I want to say December,
Hmm.
he's now up by 100%, and these are all stock plays.
Wow.
These are all stock plays.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you get that right with stocks, you can literally see the moon,
Exactly.
literally. And of course,
Exactly.
with FX, the volatility in a short space of time,
Oh
I
yeah,
enjoy the
there's
thrill of that. And I feel
undoubtedly.
like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and you always
Yeah.
have to be on your charts weekly,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
single moment of
Yeah.
the day, and like even just popping in, checking it out. Okay, cool. Always have your risk management in check, and of course your discipline. If you don't have them too with FX, good luck. You wipe
Yeah.
your
Forget
account
about
out in no time,
forget about it.
and that's why they talk
Yeah.
about this
Yeah.
90 rule. But yeah, and it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And I think yeah, you just cannot beat the volatility of FX, man. I mean, it's the most liquid market in the world. I know why guys love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know why guys love it, but it's so intensive. It's so intensive because if you're trading FX, you're more or less destined to be a day trader. You know what I mean?
Yes,
You could
yes,
make
yes.
some swings here and there,
Here and
but
there.
just know that you're spending time behind them graphs, boy. Like you'll be there.
Yeah, yeah. And
You
of
know what I'm
course with
saying?
80% of the volatility around the euro and the dollar, I mean, you see a lot of traders get in and out of that market, like literally across the whole day, every day. And then the good thing about with the FX, of course, you got the euro market, the American market, and then you've got the Asian markets in the evening with the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and a few other currencies like that. So, and even the Chinese yuan. So there's so many different currencies that can be played across the day, and and you just gotta love it, man. Once you're in it and you're seeing great returns from it, and you have your discipline and risk management in check, you can't go wrong. Like you're good.
And another thing that I would say, another tip that I would give actually for those who are looking to, maybe pick a couple stocks or figure out what exactly to watch. First of all, you have to realize that trading is more or less all around you, right? And you could say that you technically trade without you even necessarily realizing it. Okay? Look at your iPhone. Look at the Nike sneakers you got on. So by you purchasing that new iPhone, let's just say you more or less contributed, probably to Apple's stock price.
100%. I mean, if the mass do it at the same time,
You know what I mean?
or in a short space of time, you'll see the big plurge in stock prices, of course, standard. But yeah,
Exactly, exactly.
stocks
So
is in the day
even
to
and
day.
and the biggest one, Cal, when you go to the supermarket, you buy yourself a bowl of food or whatever. What do you use? You use sterling, don't you?
Yeah,
Use Great British pound,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That is exactly what trading is. Of course, this is physical currency,
Mm.
but it all affects trading or the investment markets as a whole. So I would first, like I said, first of all, realize that trading is all around you. From that point on, I would say pick something that you like. I was speaking to one of our clients the other day, and he was telling me that he wants to he's trying to figure out what stocks to follow, or what sector in the market to go into, because he sees indices, he sees commodities, he sees all of that, and that can be very confusing. So I said to him, I said, listen, do this. Tell me right now, is there anything in particular that you're interested in, that you like? He said, you know what, I really like the tech sector. Okay, I said, cool. What do you like about tech? This guy started rambling on about Tesla and batteries and blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, perfect. Pick two of your favorite tech companies that are publicly traded on the markets and just watch them for 30 days. I want you to look at the price that it opens at, and I want you to look at the price that it closes at, and maybe something that happens intraday. Of course, try to also keep track of the news. You know what I mean? Pick two of those, pick two of
Yeah,
those
news.
and follow that for 30 days. And after those 30 days, tell me if your understanding of how that particular stock moves has not vastly increased, then I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you got to understand with this whole thing is like, especially even with like decentralized coins, you've got a lot of panic buyers and panic sellers. Like especially with that field, in terms of like, let's say we've got a buzz or a name around Bitcoin that's been shooting upwards. Now people are going to be panicking and say, you know what, let's everyone buy it, let's all buy it. You've got a lot of people with imperfect knowledge buying at the same time. That's going to push the markets upwards. And then you've got people, when they're hearing X, Y, and Z on the news, they all sell at the same time, but they just don't know what they're doing with it. They're just following the crowd. You've got the people that are leading it with the bank traders trading and of course moving the markets based on the volume of their trades. And then you've got the sheeps as well, and you've got retail traders. So retail traders with more information on the markets, and they know how to analyze charts and use technicals based on what the bank traders are actually trading. And then you've got the sheeps that just follow on based on what they're hearing around, based on gossip,
Well,
which can actually
yeah,
affect the
yeah,
market.
yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. But I remember a few years ago when I was actually at university. I had a couple of my friends. up in my room, and we were just discussing some trade ideas, some ideas on stocks or whatever. And one of my friends, he now actually works in financial technology as well. He's a quant developer. What he said to me, he was like, you know what, Kev? To me, you know what, why I like the financial market so much when I have my Bloomberg news on or whatever, it's like it's almost like gossip. You know? He said he said
Definitely.
it's almost like hot gossip that people are literally making money on, and you know what I mean, interchanging information, and it's nice, you know. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it grows on you. It grows on you once you're in it. It becomes very addictive. It's hard to turn away from it, and especially when you've actually experienced a bit of success in it as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. And of course, news should be your best friend. Literally, you can't go a day without keeping an eye on the news or knowing what's happening. Before you start the day with trading, always look at what news times are popping up across the day. There might be one at 1 o'clock, one at 3, and one at 5. Some traders like to go and trade off the news. So trading off the news. So there may be traders that like to do it the fundamental way. And of course, technical traders will probably wait till the news simmers down, the after effects simmers down, and then trade like probably like 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock when the markets are not as active. It depends on what sort of trading strategies suit you. And of course, there's one way that one person will do it, but it might not be able to be the one that may suit you. So yeah.
Nice. Well, Cal, I would love to keep you here for a whole lot longer. But let's go
100%.
enjoy
No,
the rest of our weekend.
Hundred percent.
It was good to catch up again. It
Blessings
was good
speaking
to
of
talk
smooth
as
talk.
always. And I would say catch you guys on the next one. And thank you for tuning in to Smooth Talk.
100%.
Thank you for tuning in to Smooth Talk with Kevin and Cal. In our next episode, we'll discuss how the FX market has changed over the past 5 years, with a lot of people disguising themselves as finance guys to provide fraudulent services. See you on the next one. And if you need any help picking the right broker for yourself or how to find your niche in the markets, don't hesitate to get in touch with us directly via Instagram at KevKalan and of course at Khalid Messoud. You can find the rest of the details in the show notes below. See you on the next one, guys.